Yellow. One more time.
Happy bitch idiot. Clamoring for attention.
I need to goose you. One more time. Wait, can you not hear me? Hop up up here. Yeah, weird. Okay. Can I be heard?
Yes.
Fantastic. Yep. 7:59. Should we start on time? Nah.
my nipples again.
Trying to make you as loud as possible.
I don't know. Don't like it.
There we go. Sounds all right. I suppose we can start now. Let's begin recording locally and all that good stuff.
There is no excuse for using that type of language.
Oh, there's quite an excuse for using that type of language. We got the buttons working. Everything's over here. Now the button's not working. Ah, crud. Here we go. Come on. Nope. There we go. Yep. We got that over there. There. Okay. We'll use that one. I had a fade to black, but
I hope you are having a good morning, Jay.
I am having a good morning. We should probably start some music or something. Maybe so we can be on time. I don't know.
You found the Dirty Boxers Show. Something else on the internet that'll freak out your mom.
Teachers have souls.
Hey,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. I think this is a proof positive that passwords need to be changed every now and again. I think we will find that this is not the normal show. It could be better. Ooh.
The Dirty Boxy Show is entirely listener-supported by sexy, awesome people like you. No sponsors, no dirty ads. To find out how you can support The Dirty Boxy Show, please visit dirtyboxers.net and click that Support Us button. Thank you.
Are you ready?
Are you excited?
Ew. Oh, it killed the entire thing. That's great. That is exactly what I wanted to happen.
The point is, Lee was correct.
The point is, Lee was correct. Well, you know what? We'll just dispense with it. I would normally use this time to, I don't know, tweet that we were live. Maybe do some other things. Show you the camera angle that we got going on here. Ooh. Or go to a blank thing. Now that I don't know, I don't remember which one Lee used. It's been a while since he's been on the show. I'm Big Voice Jay. Normally you would hear me at the top and bottom of the hour when Lee does the show. I am guest hosting today. Maybe for a month. Oh, I don't know. Let's just see how much of a crap show this one is, and we'll see. We'll just go from there. See how we feel at the end of the day.
Situation normal. Scramble for content.
Exactly. With me is Mr. Mando Torre.
Too soon?
Oh, much too soon. Number 12 on his jersey, number 1 in your heart. It's great. Anyway, we want to say good morning to everyone listening on YouTube this morning. That's the only place we are. Can't get into Mashed Radio. Lee does not have a Twitch channel. And I do have a Twitch channel, but I'm not putting this on there. What we'll do is we'll normally be on Mashed Radio. Mashed Radio is doing something completely different. Other voice on there is too. Mashedradio.com. If you want to hear 100% mashups, you can listen to that all day, 24 hours a day. So, how are you doing, Tori?
Good.
It's going great. It's going great. This is what we need. Tell you what, Lee is currently on assignment in country. It's an odd name for his girlfriend, but it's none of my business. Anyway, we had a lot of things to talk about today, and we're going to do a classic old school show. We're going to just shoot the breeze for 2 hours, and we'll do the extra dirty bit at the end of it. Coming up in the show, Snowflake Parents. We've got Dr. Dre losing a trademark battle. Juuling, that's apparently a thing. And I want to start with this Google Duplex thing.
Lee has much explaining to do.
Lee does have much explaining to do. He's just decided, we're going to go and do this now, and then off he goes. If you want, well, I had some words for Lee, and I was gonna use it, but it's like, I'm gonna be over here doing this. So I said, you know what? I have a free Saturday. Let's try and do a show. He says, can you get everything? And I said, well, let's find out. And YouTube is the only thing I can get into, and he'll probably change that by the end of the day. So let's enjoy it while we can. Let's not cause some international incident, or let's cause an international incident. Who's feeling randy
One
today?
word, Skynet.
Yes. Now, I want to get a little conspiratorial. Let's get all crazy right here right in the first hour of the show, right in the first segment. Did you see this? What is it? The Google Duplex. They had their big developer conference. And if you haven't seen this, we'll just go ahead and play this now. Where is it? There we go. You should be able to hear it, hopefully. You may not be able to hear it. Let's get that in. It's not working. I probably have it muted somewhere. There it is.
So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
So how can I help you?
Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd.
Sure, give me 1 second.
That's the computer doing
What
that.
time are you looking for around?
At 12 p.m.
We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15.
Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.?
Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for?
Just a woman's haircut for now.
Okay, we have a 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. is fine.
Okay, what's her first name?
The first name is Lisa.
Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Great. Have a great day. Bye.
I don't like this one bit.
Oh boy, this will not go well. Was it Lee that thought this was a good idea?
I'm going to say yes. This was blatantly Lee's doing. Not for, first off, this upsets me on at least 4 different levels. One, our service industry is a rough industry to work in to begin with. I know. My first job was at a restaurant. Granted, we didn't take reservations. It was one of those buffet places. That's some craziness in and of itself. But you're overworked and underpaid, and all day long, you got to get in here and talk to a computer now. Google says this is we're past the proof of concept stage, but they do plan on testing this. And they're going to test it on everybody. And as far as
I walk in for a haircut, reservations are for smug chugnuts.
Yeah. Can I tell you this? Out of the many haircuts I've gotten over the years, I've never had to make an appointment. I thought it was just, the hair salons for the ladies. But every barbershop I've gone to, you just walk in and you take a seat. If somebody walks in and they say, hey, is what's his name free? They have a particular barber they want to use, then they'll sit around and wait. And they'll shoot the breeze, they'll talk politics, they'll talk whatever they want until it's time for their haircut. I've never seen anyone get a reservation to get a haircut other than my sisters and my mothers, all the ladies in the life. You know what I mean?
A place to be social.
It is. It is a place to be social. Less so now that people are on their phones. I've yet to see someone take a full-on laptop and just set it there, coffee shop style, in the barbershop seat. But people do have their tablets and tablets and their phablets and all their phones out, tweeting, posting, seeing what kind of haircut they want to get. But another thing that upsets me about this, the Google Duplex, is when you have a cause that you want to get after. You're one of those people that didn't meet a petition that you didn't like. How easy would it be to corral Google's Duplex and call all of the sponsors of Show X and say, we aren't going to use your products anymore? You're not going to use our products anymore? Mm-hmm. This is a new botnet waiting to happen.
Call your congressman.
You can't tell me this ain't going to be used for evil. Definitely. There's always evil intentions. Google says don't be evil, but I think that's just the cheapest way to do their business cards. Less printing. Sure, we're not going to be evil. We're going to be evil over here. But no, we're not going to be evil over here where we can see it. I don't like this. Other than that, it's really cool. But he's going to kill us all. I don't know what's going to... There's the amount of evil that could be done with this is impressive. Now, I don't want to go...
One word, Skynet.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to go all tinfoil hat on you, but it could happen. There's some imaginative evilness out there, you know? Who says this can't be done? But enough about that. What were we doing? We want to go ahead and get started with some animal news right quick. A cop responds to groundhog blocking traffic by fatally shooting it. That is not the button I wanted to hit. That's fine. We'll just go with that. There we go. A Maryland sheriff's deputy opened fire on a groundhog trying to cross the highway. According to the police statement, the officer used deadly force because he believed the groundhog to be either sick or injured and was worried about public safety. There is your billboard.
Escalated.
There is your billboard. Look at that picture right there. That is exactly what you want to see. Your highway patrolman at work standing off a groundhog. Is there any more to this story? That's fantastic. Oh, that's the shot. Got a shot off on him. Groundhog holes line the city. One was a big problem. Look at this guy. He's in full-on battle mode. Look at him.
I added a photo in Discord chat for you.
Oh, wonderful. There it is. You've edited your picture there. If you're not in the Discord, I don't know how to get to your Discord. Do we know how to get to the Discord? I don't know. Because it should be some sort of discord.gg/dirtyboxers, but I've not been given the official void or anything, so I don't know. Here's a tweet. The sheriff's office said the deputy tried to gown the groundhog off the road. Groundhog then went toward the deputy who shot the animal.
Bill Murray didn't show this much aggression towards a groundhog.
No.
OMG. This.
Wait. We have actual video. Here we go. I don't know. Is he gonna blow his head off right here? A Carroll County Sheriff's Office, Bobby DeBly, got out of his car to see what the issue was and saw the groundhog had halted cars. The officer had a standoff with the small critter and tried to back it off the road. Now, unless you know how to talk groundhog, I don't know how you plan on doing that.
Oh my God. This thing is suicidal.
Is she going to show him doing this? What was it? First humorous, soon turned dark.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! Oh no! Oh no! Oh!
And there we go.
Oh my God! He shot.
How is it blocking traffic?
Oh my God!
Oh wow!
Oh!
Did he just pop him again? I turned to look away. What happened?
Oh!
Just drive, pussy.
Oh my God! Oh!
Well, Facebook said she was shocked while watching from her car. I don't know. Can you pick up, a rabbit? Well, I don't know if it's rabid, but certainly you could do something other than
buffalo. Yay! It could block traffic.
Certainly you could do something other than, high gunplay. I don't really know why we're doing this, and I might have just shown a groundhog snuff film on YouTube. That's just fantastic. Look, man, I said we would do this maybe once, maybe twice. Who knows? So much for the groundhogs.
Let's not mess with the board police.
Yeah. Shall we not? What else have we got here? So let's move on to something a bit more pleasant. I think we got time to do this. We have the Seattle bus masturbator accused in another incident. So what do we have going on here? We have a gentleman, I use that term loosely, was convicted.
I wasn't in Seattle.
I was just about to ask you that. We don't know where Lee is. He could be traveling the country on Route 66, or he might be in Seattle. We don't know. First, he was convicted for taking care of himself, in the biblical sense, on the Metro bus in front of the same male driver twice. Later, 2 years later, he was convicted for exposing himself in front of female bus drivers and banned from boarding a bus driver by a woman. Later, he was caught taking care of himself yet again in the lobby of the King County Sheriff's Office while there to register as a sex offender. Now, at what point do you think, maybe it's me, maybe there's some sort of issue that I need to deal with?
Too much free time on his hands.
Well, his hands are the problem. They keep wandering. You can always say you can always have too much of a good thing, and I think that proves it right there, doesn't it? Story goes on that says that the Kings County Sheriff's Office distributed the image taken from bus security footage to law enforcement in an effort to identify him. Authorities arrested him on May 3rd. He is now a registered level 3 sex offender. Level 3.
Maybe one of those cones you put on a pet's head would help.
Yeah, but you'd have to put it on his pants. Then he'd be looking weird. He might be into it. Some weird cosplay, if I've ever heard it. Speaking of weird cosplay, wasn't Ben supposed to be here?
Lee has much explaining to do.
He was supposed to be, I thought Ben was online. I don't know whether Far Golf is playing tonight.
Ha ha ha, it is your fault. Your fault.
Oh, no,
your
no, no,
fault.
no, no. The standard issue answer is it is Lee's fault. Because he's blatantly not here to explain himself. What is our... I don't even know what Ben's things is. He's switched it. I don't know what Ben's Twitch handle is now. And apparently I wasn't following him. Twitch.tv. Nope, don't see him. Yeah, there he is. And he's offline. That's fantastic. But we'll move on. We'll continue. I wanted to bring this to you. While we're on the subject of maybe I have a problem. Here is a doctor who drank a pint of vodka before treating his patients. Oh, and look, we have Vijay. And while that works on that, we'll just get a little bit more information here. A state judge suspended the medical license of a local psychiatrist who admitted to drinking 2 8-ounce glasses of vodka mixed with cloves just 2 hours before seeing patients at his office near downtown San Diego. Here's the story.
Legal alcohol limit. NBC7 Investigates reporter Mari Payton explains what the state medical board did and why one expert says the board must act faster to protect patients.
Marco Chavez has a medical degree from the University of Texas with a specialty in psychiatry. On his website and Yelp, Dr. Chavez offers help for drug addicts and alcoholics. But the medical board said Dr. Chavez put patients at risk by abusing alcohol.
It's not acceptable. I mean, that is really unacceptable. And
public interest lawyer Bridget Grammy is critical of both Chavez's dangerous behavior and how long it took the medical board to build a case against him.
That should have happened a year ago and not now.
Almost a year after the initial complaint, an investigator made a series of visits to Chavez's office. The investigator said that office was in disarray when he interviewed Chavez there last month.
He was intoxicated while there were patients in the waiting room. I'm sure that wasn't the first time that it happened, especially in that entire year.
The investigator said he found a mostly empty quart-sized bottle of vodka in the doctor's office. After first denying he'd had anything to drink, Chavez allegedly admitted he had 2 of what he called remedies, 8-ounce glasses of vodka mixed with cloves early that morning. Chavez allegedly said his mother told him vodka and cloves taste so bad he would never drink again. But a state judge took no chances, ruling Tuesday that Chavez is a danger to patients, immediately suspending his license.
We couldn't reach Dr. Chavez for comment. The medical board confirmed it's trying to hire 26 more investigators to speed up enforcement. But a spokesman also told us it takes considerable time and resources to build a solid case against a doctor accused of putting patients in danger.
All right, here it is. I've always wondered how the psychologists, psychiatrists, people who have to listen to people's problems all day, every day, how do they cope? And I used to be not a psychiatrist, but I was close enough to it. I used to do tech support over the telephone. And there were some days that you left feeling rough because you told someone to reboot for the 15th and what they considered the last time. What are you thinking about that?
I don't know.
Did you unplug? You got to get back in here. Here we go.
Yeah. And my cord's all messed up.
Is it? Oh, man.
Also, my vocal cord's also all messed up.
Oh, yeah? Well, that sucks to hear, man. I hope you do get better. Did see your Facebook post, and I am praying for you. I only go on Facebook once a quarter, and I just happen to see that.
That's probably a bit too much.
I'd say so. I say so, yeah. I've spent more time at the gym than I have been on Facebook. And it's finally starting to pay off. I'm wearing older pants. T-shirts are just like draping off of me. And, it's not huge difference, but I'm feeling it, and it's a subtle difference, and it's a subtle change.
If you could just turn your webcam off, I'd really appreciate it.
Nope.
I do not need the evidence.
There is much more to discuss and much more to talk about. And we'll slag off Lisa more. I don't think we did it as much in the first segment, but we will get back on it. Hang on, y'all.
The Dirty Boxers Show.
DirtyBoxers.net.
Cliffy was born the son of a doxy and a junkie. In a neo-Victorian world, he was the lowest of the low, with no hope of bettering his position. But one day, he witnessed a murder and was offered a unique form of blackmail. In exchange for his silence, he is enrolled in the Malcolm Rutherford Holden Institute of Regentrification. There, in the Hidden Institute, he learns how to walk, talk, and act like nobility so that he can sneak into the ranks of the gentry. But in this world, that kind of fraud carries a death penalty. Royal intrigue, daring escapes, assassins, subdermal machines, and bear polo. The Hidden Institute by Brand Gamblin is a new story available at podiobooks.com. A grand adventure in a not-so-distant world.
Welcome to the interwebs, home of everything. Would you like to try the new Fruity Oaty Slusho?
What do you want? A podcast?
What kind of podcast?
Give me one with affable hosts talking about geeky things they do.
I want one with geek-related news.
Anything else?
Let me see. How about a podcast with sometimes interesting topics or celebrity interviews?
Yeah, let me have the one with the fitness tips, the one that talks about audiobooks, maybe the one that talks about upcoming cons.
If you want all of that, why not get a combo?
You have something that has all of that?
I wouldn't offer it if we didn't.
Is that possible?
Is that legal?
You want this weekly from GeekRadioDaily.com.
What's that?
A running gag.
So what is this weekly?
It's the Sometimes Weekly podcast with stealth geeks who talk about their week, geek news, and it features looks at audiobooks, Fit Club, and con updates.
I don't know.
One of the hosts is a woman.
Oh, really?
With a sexy voice.
So,
Geek Radio Daily has forums for geek talks, an active Facebook and Twitter page, and the award non-winning Sometimes Weekly podcast. All this and more at geekradiodaily.com.
Wait a minute. Fill my cup, put some
Coffee.
in it. If we show up, we gon' show out.
The Dirty Boxers Saturday Show.
There it is. Good morning, good evening, and all that good stuff. The Americanos are in the building. And let me just say this. Snoop Dogg was right. The devil is a low-down, dirty bar steward, clinking his glasses and dispensing evil all over the place. Case in point, someone brought in some pastries. There are pastries in the building. Let's see, where's the webcam? Here we go. Let's try this. Move this out of the way so that you can see him. It's a big box, not a huge dozen donut box, but look at this. That's got to be a huge cinnamon roll. That is a big cinnamon roll. Just as soon as I start talking about doing a little bit better, here comes the big cinnamon twist.
A temptation.
Temptation. Go ahead. Get you a bite of that. That thing is huge.
I mean, what harm is one little bite gonna do?
You haven't seen the size of my bites. Nope.
I've seen everything from that court case, Jay, and they're substantial.
Now, there's too many pictures of people putting that into their mouths on the internet, and I ain't adding to it. No, sir. Where is Lee? Last I heard, he had a lot on his plate, which...
And it wasn't Spagbo. No.
Which to me, it can only be one thing. He's joining the competitive eating. No. There we go. He's joining the competitive eating circuit. Look, man, you got to put in that work. The Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest is just around the corner. What if you turn on the TV and you just saw Lee shoving sausages into his mouth?
I would know. I had always known it would come to this.
Yeah, I figured as much. let's get back into some of the stupidity that I managed to find around the internet. Now, look at this idiot. He has been accused of texting and searching for your mama jokes while behind the wheel. Oh, yes, he drives a school bus, as evidenced by the gigantic stock picture of a school bus. That's branding. Now, authorities are saying this school bus driver had sent text messages and looked up your mama jokes on the phone while transporting children. Brenda Cartson is facing 15 separate charges, including reckless driving and other traffic offenses. According to video and audio taken on the bus, she was not wearing a seatbelt and was swerving through traffic lanes. She allowed children to move freely about the bus and was talking about her personal life with them, including an inappropriate life lesson that included profanities, according to the attorney's office.
Well, I mean, she was being beaten at snaps. So
yeah,
if you're in an enclosed system with a bunch of kids and they're winning, desperation calls for desperate measures.
And let me tell you,
if it was me against 30 kids, yeah, I'm gonna Google some help.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. We had a few weeks ago our Diamond Club game night, and everybody gets together in Discord. We play Jackbox party games. It goes on into the wee hours of the morning. And everybody is trying to one-up each other when it comes to, at this point, it was dad jokes, bad jokes, and your mama jokes. What was I doing? Running through Google faster than everybody else, trying to pick out the plum ones. I also did something a little bit sneaky. I don't know if I should be saying this, but I would wager I'm the one of the older ones in the group. And so I knew, you remember, you might remember this, the old HBO comedy show. What was it called? I think it was called Snaps. It was basically, or at that, and the Uptown Comedy Club used to air on BET back in the 90s. Two comedians on stage, a battle royale, your mama jokes, your daddy jokes. You're so fat, you're so stupid, you're so blah 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 blah. Oh, when it was on point, it was funny. And when it wasn't, the audience let you have it. I loved it. And we brought it back, and it made for a legendary night. So in that respect, I don't blame them.
Can you imagine Snaps at the Apollo?
I thought they did that at one time.
That seems to be like almost a fractal. Like, you have to be good. No, you really have to be good.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to be good to get on, at least on amateur night. Now, is it on now? You know, Steve Harvey is hosting the new Showtime at the Apollo, which is airing on Fox. And it might be wrapping up its season this month. I thought it was a summertime thing, but I guess not. Steve Harvey's a busy man in his old age, hosting so many shows and the radio show as well. But
can you imagine the time he spends at the laundry?
Oh, he spends zero time at the laundry. He's got staff for that. I guarantee you.
Now I wonder, how many suits does he have? Does he wear them more than once? I'm very curious about his wardrobe.
Well, he has a collection that is commercially available. You can buy his suits. So I would imagine if there's a new suit in the line, he's worn it first.
That makes sense.
Well, yeah. Got to make sure it's of the finest quality before you unleash it upon everyone else, right? But as far as amateur night for Showtime at the Apollo, say it again.
I'm a bit jealous. I gotta say, it sounds nice.
Man, it does. He does do some nice suits. I'll give him that. It kind of went off the rails for me when that whole letter debacle came out. You remember that? Where he sent a letter to his staff for his daytime TV show saying that no one is to talk to him. And that's just one of the demands. He said one of the demands was, if you walk into my dressing room, you will be removed by security. And he always has security with him. The fact that we know about this letter is a glaring omission of standard office security practices.
It's almost as if someone let it leak out as a big FU to his demands.
Oh, I guarantee you that was the last thing they did. And it was in Hollywood too, because that's just incestuous community. Everybody's working on something for everybody else. And I'm telling you, someone was making a call while they were in the parking lot and they were licking that memo. But amateur night, I remember when Showtime at the Apollo was on in the 90s. It was a little syndicated thing, ran on a little station here in town. They were brutal then. I can't imagine what they were doing now. You had the Sandman beating you off the stage with the push broom. It's great television.
That's got to be crushing as an entertainer to be shoved off stage.
Yes, it is. Now
we need more of that. We need more of that level of intimidation going into the entertainment industry, so people aren't so brittle.
I'll say this:
be able to take some criticism. It's coming. It is coming. So be ready.
Well, now think of this: what about all of our little princes and princesses that are coming up right now? Their parents have told them that everything they do is wonderful. Even the waste that they produce is absolutely brilliant. How are they going to act in the real world after being in that bubble? And I know we have the internet, and people are just losing their minds on the internet. How is you could have, YouTube comments aside, Reddit posts aside, crap posts aside, how are they dealing with that? Which is worse? A bad comment on a YouTube video, or getting rousted off the stage by a man wearing lights and a push broom? I would say the push broom has more impact.
Yeah, a physical, literal impact.
Well, yeah. Plus, it's televised.
And that guy has the encouragement of most of the house.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because it's a slow burn. If the audience isn't feeling you right from the start, especially if you're doing a quote-unquote original song, you hit a sour note right at the beginning, the audience, and you can feel it. You can feel it. It's like, oh boy. There's been so many times where I've seen this, and you can just call your shot right in the middle of it. And you know they have the audience mic good where you can hear the slow roar of well like this, because you can almost hear the boos until someone hits the siren, and here comes the Sandman. Out he goes. Yeah, the push room is absolutely worse.
It's the point of no return. I mean, a YouTube comment can be, you can respond to it with another YouTube comment. So, I mean, at least you don't have your own broom to push back with on stage.
Yeah. Now, granted, you could make a response video or reaction video. All this.
What would happen if you swept the knee?
Ooh.
Has anyone ever attacked the Sandman? That's what I want to, because I imagine that would not go well.
No, I'd say no. That would not be good. I don't know if you did. That would be, well, I wouldn't say that would be awesome.
You might win the crowd if you did it right. I mean,
Though I figure if you've awakened the Sandman and he's coming to deal with you, it's like the blue lights right there. There, you are no longer in control of the situation. You can't win the crowd over. You can't wave the cops off. You can't wave the Sandman away.
It's almost like blood in the water.
Yeah.
The sharks are circling.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of our little snowflake parents, did you see the latest thing that they're doing to coddle their little boys and girls? They are changing, quote unquote, politically incorrect fairy tales. So Red Riding Hood makes friends with the wolf, the gingerbread man doesn't get eaten, and the ugly sisters help Cinderella with her chores.
Damn, you stupid.
Just not right. I heard this morning and I had to go and look it up. 36% polled don't like how the Pied Piper tricks children into following him. Actually, this is more of a cautionary tale. Maybe don't go off in the woods with someone blowing a flute. 25% are not liking the ugly duckling over fears of body shaming. And a quarter don't like Cinderella because she was shown cleaning. And of course, as Lee likes to say, Britain is the center of the universe. Blah, blah, blah. This is happening in Britain, so you know this is going to make its way over here. The study goes, many think that it is unfair that the gingerbread man gets eaten by a fox, while others fear the ugly duckling could bring about insecurities and body shaming. Little Red Riding Hood is the story changed by parents most often, with alternative endings, seeing the central character making friends with the wolf instead of helping to kill him. By the way, if you've read any of the original Grimm's fairy tales, it's some dark stuff. Am I right?
It's better.
Yeah, they're not Disney-fied.
Okay, carry some weight.
The world is not always guaranteeing happy endings. The world isn't always a cheery and wonderful place where you get to live happily ever after.
Well, until murder becomes impossible, you have to learn how to deal with murderers.
Yeah. Almost 1 in 4, back in the articles, think that it is inappropriate to tell children the story of Cinderella, who was forced to do all the cleaning and household chores. Did you see the mom? She was doing that. Wasn't she one of the stepchildren? If I remember the story correctly. She treated the other siblings better than Cinderella. I don't know why.
I think that they were her actual daughters, whereas Cinderella wasn't.
Ah, okay.
Cinderella's the stepchild.
Yes. Also, 1/4 of parents also avoid reading The Ugly Duckling as they worry it could encourage body shaming and discrimination. A third dislike Hansel and Gretel because the children are abandoned in the forest, while 1 in 4 think Sleeping Beauty is inappropriate because she was kissed without consent. Even Pinocchio leaves 27% of parents worrying as the story tells the tale of a boy who runs from home.
But he wasn't a real boy at the time.
I think we may have just found a loophole.
And with, what was it? The one with couple tails back.
Which one?
Go back a couple. What was the one you just mentioned?
Hansel and Gretel? Ugly Duckling?
Ugly Duckling. Ugly Duckling isn't a story of body shaming. It's learning the difference between when something looks ugly versus something looks different. And you should know when something looks different. That's called having eyesight. The difference is knowing that different is not ugly. And you learn that. You don't know that necessarily. You learn that. And so Ugly Duckling teaches that looking different doesn't mean you look ugly. And you don't learn that unless you experience it some metaphoric way or some personal way. I don't know. I just don't see it as body shaming.
Is it more of a homogenization of stereotypes and how you should look, how you should feel, how you should think and act? If you look at YouTube, every video blogger always does the same thing, always has the same mannerisms.
Well, why is one of the biggest thing on YouTube is makeup tutorials, and otherwise cover up that face.
Yeah.
How is a makeup tutorial not face shaming?
There's a lot.
Your face is wrong. You have to change your face how it looks. Because it doesn't look right as it is.
Hide your crazy. Here's how. Here's some blush. Get after it. And you're right. The Ugly Duckling is a learning experience. It's a learning point. When you change that story, you change the message, watering it down or eliminating it altogether. And at that point, you just want your kid to go to sleep. Doesn't make sense to me.
You want them to shut up for 5 freaking seconds so you as an adult can gather your thoughts before you pass out and do it all again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nighttime story. It means go to sleep. If you overthink it, you're not falling asleep. And that's the whole point.
Now, the research was conducted by onepoll.com. It also found that 3/4 of parents read their children bedtime stories, spending a little more than 17 minutes on each storyline. But while 85% read from a book, 1 in 10 will read from the tablet. And then 1 in 20 listen to spoken stories on the TV. By the way, not to promote anything around here, but there is a service, an on-demand service, and it may vary across the country, that will do just this, just reading bedtime stories to children. It shows the pictures, shows the pages turning. I imagine this is probably on Twitch too. I haven't really looked at it and searched for it. It could take all of 2 seconds, but I don't feel like doing it now. The article says 1 in 5 parents who don't read to their children claim they're too busy, with 10% admitting they would rather give them the tablet or audiobook to listen to before bed. Others let them watch TV, and still more say their children don't enjoy reading stories or lack confidence in their own reading abilities. Despite that, 97% of parents think it is important to read to their children. Do you remember learning to read for the first time? Did you have to do it like in front of people, or did you do it at home?
Actually, my sister and I would play, and she was teacher, and I was a student, because she was like 5 grades ahead of me.
Yeah.
And she enjoyed being right.
What sister doesn't like being right?
So yeah, I remember learning to read from her. Cool. Before I went to school.
Would you believe there was an old newspaper article? I seem to remember this. I don't know why this was done, but there was an old newspaper article about me. All I was doing was reading. I don't know why the article was done. I don't know. We had to read, what was it? The Very Hungry Caterpillar. You remember that book? Where is it? Let me see if I can find a picture of that right quick. The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Yes, there it is. Get a gander of that. Where is it? There it is. The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Now, this was one of those books that had the holes in it, right where the hole in the apple is. And so your fingers were the caterpillar, and he'd run through the entire book, eating everything as he goes along. All I remember is I was in he's either kindergarten or second grade, one of those two. But we had newspaper people snapping pictures, reading in front of the class. I still don't know why that happened. It shouldn't have happened. This was school. This is a place of learning, not some sort of weird bullcrap.
Yeah, and you'd have to think that if in one book the finger is a caterpillar, well, wouldn't the next book the finger's a butterfly? How's that work?
Well, I don't want to spoil the book.
Sorry, I haven't read it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, put it on your list. Put it on your list. You'll like it. It had pathos. It was Seussian, even if it wasn't done by Dr. Seuss.
You could probably find it at dirtyboxers.net/Amazon. Enter in code BANGBANG for 10% off at point of purchase.
I'll let you get away with that, right? Yeah. In fact, I'm going to do this right here. Well done. That is how you do that right there. That's weaving in the plug. Just so you can get that done. There's much more that we got to do. Slag off Lee some more. We might just slag off Ben, too, because he's supposed to be here. Hang on.
The Dirty Boxers Show.
Broadcasting worldwide.
DirtyBoxers.net. In 2009, accounts of the thrilling episodes of a small band of podcasters began to run. These became wildly popular and gave rise to more episodes. Now, in 2009, a podcasting revolution. The time has come for those podcasters to take up their microphone. One Piece Podcast. Wednesdays and Sundays on iTunes and at onepiecepodcast.com. We are Machi.
Hola amigos. Presentamos este programa
for all of my people, Negroes and Latinos. And even the gringos.
Pero si quieren saber un poco más de qué se trata, The Dirty Boxers Saturday Show.
Welcome back. The Americanos are in the building, getting things done. And if you missed the first hour, we showed a chipmunk, groundhog getting shot in the face by a cop, so there's always that. Big Boys Jay over here, and the boss back there from the hills of the KY, Mr. Mando Torre.
Putin!
I figured that was what you were going to say anyway. While we're on the subject of our children, and I can speak on that because I have...
Won't somebody think of them?
Yes, we need to think of them. Because, and I've never seen this before, we have a problem. The children have a problem, and it is with juuling. Juuling. What is this thing? It looks to be some sort of...
It wasn't me. Is this something to do with that Marvel Infinity War thing? Or
no, and it doesn't have anything to do with Fortnite either, which, by the way, that's just exploded. Now, let's get into the article here. School administration.
By the way, Jay.
Yes, sir.
I know that you're not under any danger of doing so, but don't pay any attention to those miscreants in the chat over in YouTube channel because it's very distracting, I find.
You know what? I don't even have the chat room up. So I don't know what's going on over there.
That's probably best. I don't anymore either.
Okay, great. So we've got school systems in New Jersey and Virginia. Students are breaking into vape shops looking to score nicotine. And a school system in New Jersey installed detectors in the high schools to alert administrators to students looking for their next rip. So apparently this is some sort of vaping device. And the problem with this, says the superintendent, is that they're manufactured for adults, but it appeals to children. Well, what doesn't appeal to children?
I mean, that happened with guns too, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it turned Super Soaker into a cottage industry.
I mean, virtually every teenager wants to drive.
Well,
they wouldn't want to drive if it weren't for all the adults driving around them.
I'd push back on that. There's actually a bit of a counterculture going on with this the rise of the self-driving car and the apparent popularity of Uber and Lyft. Kids aren't learning to drive anymore. They're putting off getting their licenses now. And the people at Ford aren't having it.
It's another way to be financially responsible at a young age because you don't take on a loan that you don't, necessarily need to have to pay off when you're going to school and doing other.
Well, yeah, I mean, you should be focused on if you're going to school, then you would focus on your student loan because apparently you have to have that.
Or rent. Maybe you moved out early.
True. I've seen that the new empty nesters. Have you seen these people? They've got the last kid out, and they're in this big house, and they don't know what to do with it. And they say, "Huh, I used to know you." Looking at their wives or their husbands. And they don't have a baseball game or a football game or a swim meet or anything to get to. And they suddenly find themselves with all this free time. So then what do? Go out and vape. Go out and do stuff. But back to the children. The school administrators say that these little vape things are insidious because they're easy to hide and virtually smokeless. Isn't that one of the selling points of the vape pens in the first place?
Well, that's kind of what you get for writing such a hard campaign against smoking we're going to find a way to do it anyhow.
Yeah. It says here, we know adult smokers who want to switch and don't want to be reminded of combustible cigarettes. Inadvertently muted myself. You know what? There's been some shaming going on, even with the vapors, right? I heard someone was telling me this story. They were they're a fellow vapor. I don't do it, but they will go into a restaurant and vape. They're just sitting there they're sitting there at the bar. The vape pen is smokeless, so they're just sitting there puffing away on it. And a waitress comes up to him and says, "Oh, would you mind taking that outside?" And he says, "Why?" And he says, "Well, we have children here, but this is smokeless. This is not hurting anybody." "Yes, but they see that you're having fun." I laughed for a good 7 minutes when I heard that.
Isn't a child an indicator that a man and a woman had fun at least once?
Well, it depends on whether the video came out. These things are like $50 each, and you charge them through a USB port. You put your flavored pod in the unit, and you simply draw on it to start smoking. The youth will share them, and they use this. And it got so bad that one school system removed the bathroom doors and the stall doors in the bathroom. So you have zero privacy when you're going in there to be private. There ought to be a law against that.
Where's the law protecting a child's right to not see a classmate pinching a loaf?
Yeah, they didn't think about that. They wanted to do all of that.
What if I don't want my classmates to know the unique way in which I hover over the seat?
Well, I'll tell you what. And it being a school bathroom, that thing wasn't getting cleaned. You know it.
Have you ever seen horseback riding stance?
Oh, my God. Yeah. Especially in our school, we used to have those big troughs. About as long as your desk. Full of nothing but urine. It's like one handle that hadn't worked in about 75 years once the school was built.
There's chewing gum clogging the drain.
Yes. The odd cigarette butt from one of the older students.
Maybe a discarded piece of paper from a notebook. Because why not?
12 pieces of paper. Right into the thing there. And I ain't fishing that out. You ain't fishing that out. I ain't touching that.
I come in here to urinate, not to clean out the trough.
Yeah. So the school superintendent and the FDA commissioner says, we're going to take more actions going forward, because that is exactly what you think of when you think of swift action. You immediately think of the federal government.
Oh, and efficient. Don't forget efficient.
Oh, my bad. They text each other. This is one of the moms talking. You want a hit in the bathroom? Second floor. I'm worried about them, she says. I would be worried too.
I would worry a little bit less, but not too much less. I would worry some still. But if I can quiet some of the concerns of the parents, a lot of this is probably cannabis and not tobacco. So, I mean, they're okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same devices.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It would be the same delivery system.
There would not be smokeless tobacco products were it not for the innovation of the smokeless cannabis industry.
I did not know that.
It did not start with tobacco. It started with an easier way to consume cannabis without being arrested and thrown into a pen like an animal for consuming a plant. But now, it's, I guess, apparently better to be caught smoking tobacco than to be caught smoking cannabis, so kids are saying it's tobacco. Well, how does a parent know?
Well, they don't. I mean, teenage speak is different from the American English that you and I speak. It is merely a series of grunts and groans and the odd emoji. We were all teenagers once. We all spoke that.
Whatevs.
Yeah, there you go. It's exactly. It's coming back to you. You know it. You see it. It's all one and the same to me. But let us move away from the children to something else that's rather troubling. Now, I want you to take a look at this picture. And would you say it would be apt or maybe not so much? Look at this. Accused stalker sent 65,000 texts to man. Said she wanted to bathe in his blood. Look at that face. Now, does that look like the face of a stalker to you?
I'm waiting on the delay. I want to make sure it's not my ex.
Okay. We go to Paradise Valley, Arizona. What started as a potential relationship on a dating site ended in a stalking nightmare for a Paradise Valley man. The victim met 31-year-old Jacqueline Claire AIDS. 3 names. What do we say about 3 names?
Guilty.
Things quickly went awry on the date. After the date, police say AIDS began texting the man constantly, sending him more than 65,000 text messages. The victim told police sometimes he would send 500 texts a day. The texts go, "Don't ever try to leave me. I'll kill you. I don't want to be a murderer. I'll be like the new Hitler. Man was a genius." Okay, got some red flags here. Oh, what I would do with your blood, I'd want to bathe in it.
She's got to be great in a sack.
Well, look at those eyes. You know there's some crazy back there. Somewhere towards the back.
You're like, man, if I survive this is going to be one for the epic. Yeah.
See, look at her. She cleans up nice.
It's not my ex-girlfriend.
Nope.
Thankful.
Nope. But see, that's a rather presentable picture. That was probably on the dating site. I'll swipe right on that. You see, this is, you remember a few Saturdays ago, a long time ago, we had the Outfind Your Crazy. Can you outfind your crazy? And the crazy hot matrix. Now, in this picture, she's looking great. Was this woman high enough on the hot/crazy scale to warrant a date? This guy was all in until the date finished. And we have the PDF, the requisite information, and all that. So what is the moral of this story? Always take your best picture when you are on these dating sites.
Always go to her place on the first date.
I'd say always go to a neutral location. Make sure everybody's all right.
Just whatever you do, don't let her know where you live till you've at least, discerned whether the crazy was the type that you can, pardon the pun, live with.
Yeah, if it's a visual crazy, like you see stuff in the front yard, the door's ajar, and she lives by herself. She didn't even bother to close the door for any wayward animals that can come in and out. I'm talking 4- and 2-legged animals, by the way. So we also learned maybe get a burner cell phone. Maybe get a little space. Make it work for it. Little wall action, Maybe I like you. Maybe I don't. Maybe I ghost you after the first date. Who knows?
Maybe start out with a nom de plume.
Yeah. It's like, ooh, I don't know about this.
Well, that's my author's name.
Oh, yes.
I wanted to respond to you as if I was writing a book. Which, if you sent 500 texts to me, that's exactly what it's going to be like.
My name is Carlos Danger.
You killed my father. Oh, sorry.
I poorly rolled blunts, and I live alone with an open door so that people can go in and out, as you do. Apparently
I raise cruelty-free rabbits.
Ooh, cruelty-free rabbits. Bet that's some good eating. By the way, if you want to listen to some of the older episodes of these shenanigans, you can go to youtube.com/DirtyBoxersTV. How do I know that? Funny story about that. I'm in a meeting one morning, standard staff meeting, shifting paradigms as you do. Everybody's phone's on vibrate, silent, what have you. I'm busy making points, having people agree with me. My phone starts blowing up. And I have a Note 8, and it's got a large vibrator on it, and this thing's just shaking the table. I was like, well, goodness, something must be happening.
Are aliens attacking? What's up?
Aliens. Something's afoot. So I excuse myself and I go and look at the phone, and it's about 75 notifications from That Lee Brown. Apparently, he just realized that he could publish on YouTube and tell everybody about it. To hear Lee talk, he would just blame somebody else. Standard operating procedure, really? That's how you do it.
Usually it's Ben.
I would say today it's Ben because he still is not here to defend himself.
He absolutely had the chance, and he failed it.
He had the opportunity to get it done, but no. Couldn't be bothered.
You know what else he couldn't? He also couldn't be bothered to go over to digitalrhapsody.net /product-category/dirty-boxers-universe.
Could not be bothered.
Yeah, you know that. I don't know why he couldn't be bothered to go to that easy to describe URL.
Give me that URL again. What was it again?
Let me get a running start at this thing.
Yeah, watch out now. Don't let those syllables hit you now.
digitalrhapsody.net /product-category/dirty-boxers-universe.
Yes.
Or you could go to the aforementioned youtube.com/dirtyboxerstv and find the link in the blurb there. I would assume this is for shopping, but I remembered what it was for when I started reading it, and by the time I finished reading it, I had forgotten what it was for.
I don't know. Is it there? I don't see it. Oh, yeah. The official Dirty Boxers Universe shop. There it is. Digital Rhapsody empowering you. You can buy a hoodie, a snowflake hoodie, a snowflake tank top, long sleeve t-shirt, hats, and whatnot. You got to buy the whatnot. It's really good. The Phantom Black Bagger baseball cap. That's funny.
Are the booty shorts aren't available yet?
I don't know. Something else Lee's got to work on. You can get you an iPhone case. The hats are pretty nice. You can also get the hoodie. The coffee mugs galore, as you do. Wait a minute. Is this what I think it is? There is a Make Pixels Great Again hat. You can get it in navy, royal blue, or good old red. Make Pixels Great Again. You know what? That's a good old conversation starter. Especially nowadays.
I'm just glad that there's no Web Diva t-shirts.
There have not been, nor will there be any Web Diva t-shirts. And you know why. Oh, by the way, you can call if you want to join in. I think it's set up properly. We can test it out to be sure. Got my big voice Jay on Skype if you want to get in on here. We've got the setup thing, and we'll push some buttons and maybe get you in. Maybe. But right now we have important things to discuss. Here's another very important thing. Here is another outfine the crazy moment. Let's meet this person who is a topless gardener who's suing the authorities for being prudes. Look at that face. Would you say that she is crazy or has all of her faculties?
Mary, quite contrary. How does her garden grow?
She's identified as Jessica Igo. Puts her age right there at 30. Says she didn't do anything wrong while working in her yard. She was doing it without a shirt on. Even if another woman driving down her rural Hudson Valley Road, didn't give the address, took offense and called the cops. Cops had fielded previous complaints about Igo's topless yard work and simply advised her to cover up. So, as you do, the old Vegas solution, pasties. Not pasties. She wasn't walking around with cinnamon buns all over her. Pasties. Little tings, little tassels, what have you. She was wearing them when the priggish passers-by snapped a picture of her watering her plants. Oh boy. Please tell me there was a flower pot involved. And you can see the bias of this article here. They're clearly on her side. It says, before long, the Prude Patrol. This is in the United States, so I think, right? So they said the Prude Patrol showed up in the village of Red Hook, and the officer arrested her. Judge dismissed the charges, saying it's been illegal in New York State for women to be topless in public since 1992, when two female activists challenged the state's public lewdness law in court. I would imagine one more person had a hand in this, a hand, I hope. The Naked Cowboy. Have you seen this gentleman?
I'm familiar with his shtick.
Let me pull up a picture here.
I do not approve of the Naked Cowboy, nor do I approve of the yodeling kid in the Walmart.
Yeah. But here you go. There's a picture of the Naked Cowboy. He's all over New York. New York City. He's downtown. And he's actually wearing 2 pairs of underwear. That way he gets around the law. He can't say that he's full on naked. And he's got a cowboy hat. So all day long he's strumming the guitar, and New Yorkers, well, not New Yorkers, maybe not the locals, but I guarantee you the tourists are getting their pictures made with him because the Naked Cowboy. Why not? By the way, he makes a very nice living doing this. He drives a Cadillac Escalade. He's pulling down 6 figures just doing that day in and day out. Tourist season is pretty much year long for New York. Everybody's coming to the city. And he's licensed his image for M&M's, various print and ad campaigns. Guy's making a mint. Of course, you would need to do that in New York City. The taxes are horrendous.
It gets pretty chilly there some parts of the year, too. So
he's out during the wintertime, too.
He earning his money that part of the year.
He's wearing a coat, and the Escalade is parked close by so he can get in and warm up. Would you believe we've done an hour and a half already? I ain't even got to all of the stuff. I always over-prepare for these things. But
time flies by when Lee's not running his mouth.
I'm telling you.
Dirty Boxers Show. DirtyBoxers.net.
Hi, I'm Debbie from the Busy Ladies Podcast, a production of Netcast Studio. Join myself, my daughter-in-law Lauren, and my daughter Colleen as we explore our perspectives on various women's issues. Check us out today at netcaststudio.com.
Broadcasting worldwide from the proud home of rebels and misfits.
My naughty girlfriends and I are waiting for your call.
The Dirty Boxers Saturday Show.
Yes, sir. Doing it as we like to do. It is a Dirty Boxers Saturday Show. You can email me, bigvoicej@gmail.com. You can follow Tori at Mendo Tori on the Twitters. I'm at Fun Zone Radio. Don't bother following Lee. He's doing stuff. Can't be bothered. I doubt he's even in the chat room. I'm not looking at the chat room, so I can't really tell. Was that the door? Did Tori just leave? Oh my goodness. We're down. Man down. Man down.
Damn, you stupid. I closed the door of the chat room, keep Lee out.
Fantastic. Good looking out. Now, we got Florida news.
How bizarre.
And I've read this one over and over again, and I still don't understand it. Trying to find a package here. I think we do. Now, I'll just give you the headline here. Florida man hid legless fugitive girlfriend in plastic tote. Let's see if we can get the news package in.
Through North County neighborhoods. The driver uses his car to direct his anger at local police officers. News Channel 5's Tori Dunnan went to Jupiter to find out what this is all about. Tori?
Kelly, the man who drives this car is nearly 80 years old, a retired postal worker. His neighbors and many others in the community say his car is unacceptable, but he says he's using his car to exercise his freedom of speech.
What is this?
Freedom of speech. Come on now. Freedom of speech.
It's freedom of speech with a bite.
Pissed off.
Some in the Jupiter community say
something happened here. I wanted the girlfriend in the plastic tote. What happened here? We were supposed. There we go. Craziness.
Say that took a turn.
It did. It's like
news and.
We want to get your feedback, and while we do, we're going to autoplay another ad that really gets to me. Not to the point where I'll install an ad blocker because I want them to get paid. I just don't want them to make me mad.
Man right here from Central Florida for hiding his legless girlfriend by stuffing her body in a plastic storage container. The girlfriend, Christy Lee Anderson, was on the run from U.S. Marshals. She was also wanted by the Polk County Sheriff's Office. She's facing charges for holding people hostage at a Burger King. She got in a shootout with police, which is how she lost her legs. Authorities spotted that boyfriend stuffing the 4-foot woman in a container. They arrested both of them.
What? That doesn't make any sense. Were you following this at all?
As much as one can.
That was too short of a report. The article doesn't do it any better.
When they said she was 4 foot tall now, I thought, well, she's not legless. She's just calfless.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, how tall was she beforehand? 8? If she was 8 feet tall, then yeah, she's legless now.
I don't know. Now, she was wanted for failing to appear in court on charges including false imprisonment related to a 2015 incident when she allegedly held people hostage at a Burger King with a BB gun. It ended in a shooting with police, and she lost both legs.
I mean, if you're going to hold people hostage, maybe pick a place that's bringing in a little bit more money than Burger King.
Yeah.
I mean, a crime is a crime, so, you know, I don't know, a jewelry store? I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, if you're just going to go for the quick dollar, it's got to be Chick-fil-A.
Damn, you stupid.
Let's put it this way. This caper is not going to be a Whopper.
You know the thing I don't have? Tumbleweeds. We're free. We can tell all the bad jokes we want.
Lee can't do nothing about it. Nothing about me saying herbs. He can't say nothing about me saying how great the French have been with the culinary creations they've made. He can't say nothing. He can't say nothing about how great Star Wars is. It's just, I find that Lee's best contribution is when he doesn't call in.
Exactly. Somebody had to have the balls to say it. Thank you, Tori. Give you one of these. There you go. That's for you. Standing belly claps around. Let's get rid of that autoplay and stupid thing. While we're talking about gunshots, gunplay, we have an argument over peach cobbler leaving with a gunshot wound. Got a lot of news packages here today. Maybe this will autoplay and maybe it won't. The incident is chaos. Peach cobbler causing chaos at a Red Bank truck stop. The incident left one man recovering from a gunshot wound and another man behind bars facing attempted murder charges. Let's go to the videotape.
In the cobbler, witnesses say they watched as Stanley Woodson got into it with workers about the dessert. The victim says he tried to step in, but ended up with a bullet in his back. Logan Ovescone says he made his usual stop into JoJo's Travel Center to pick up a Coke on Wednesday.
And he started cussing her out, so I set my Coke on the counter. I looked over at him and I was like, sir, I was like, dude, you ain't gonna talk to him like that.
He says the customer in front of him in the checkout line, later identified as Stanley Woodson, was mad about the amount of peaches served with his cobbler and was going off on the woman serving him.
Everybody that comes to this store, knows these women. You know what I mean? That's disrespectful, man.
Novascon says he stepped in to defend the cashier, but he thought things would stop there.
I was like, man, all he's going to do is argue. He ain't going to do nothing,
Whether Woodson was just having a bad day or truly that frazzled over fruit, that part isn't clear, but Novascon says he wasn't expecting to take a ride to the hospital.
Over some peaches. Peaches. You want to shoot at me over some peaches, bro?
He says Woodson popped his trunk on pump 5, pulled a gun out the back, and started shooting.
He reached over the car, shot again, and only thing I could think of was that dumpster.
According to Novascone, 7 shots were fired as he ran to take cover.
I thought really, I was dead. I was done.
He thinks all the gunplay wasn't necessary.
Put up the guns, dude. Take it back. Let's go with his hands. If you want to go.
But says if it happened again, he'd still stand up for the women working at the store.
I love this guy.
Again, 100%, yes, ma'am.
There's a lot of traffic here at the store, so a lot of people are talking about the shooting, but everyone happy that the victim is okay. Reporting live in Marshall County, Troy Washington, WREG, News Channel 3.
Thank goodness they're okay.
Side. Man, there's several things wrong with this. First, don't have open gunfire near flammable materials. Can we all agree to that? Second,
we're slow to agree on anything in America, Jay, I fear. I mean, you do get some great explosions that way.
Yes, explosions are cool. Explosions are nice, but at some point, the explosion selfie, which granted has not become a thing yet, but give it time.
Fingers crossed.
Yes. I would say that you can't have live fire with gasoline. And second, peaches, bruh. Peach cobbler. How are you on peach cobbler, Tori?
I mean, I'm okay with it. I would have went for a cherry or a blackberry myself. Peaches are all right. I'm not against peaches.
Every now and again, I get a hair about me and say, darn it, gotta have some cobbler. But not everybody in the family eats cobbler, and once you've taken off the serving size of the pack of cobbler that you get, now you got all this cobbler and it's thawed. What you gonna do with it? You're not gonna take an evening and watch Netflix and eat the whole thing. That's not been done. I'm not saying that's been done. I'm simply saying.
Well, I've always found it's nice to heat the cobbler and then serve it with a side of ice cream.
Not a fan of ice cream. I don't know what happened. I used to be all about ice cream, but not anymore. The ice cream.
It's like I don't even know you anymore, Jay.
The ice cream was inappropriate. I've got ice cream in the freezer right now, and I'm just letting it go bad. It was one of those, it's got the chipped chocolate. You squeeze the tub, and apparently there's a ring of chocolate inside of your ice cream, and once you squeeze the thing, it breaks up and shoots itself into the ice cream, so you're welcome to shards of sharp chocolate as you're chowing down on your vanilla. No, thank you. Not for me. I can't do it. I don't know why.
Well, it's one of those. It's good that everybody's not into the same thing. Otherwise, they would always be out of that when you went to the store.
Well, yeah. By the way, this is what Lee's doing right here. See that? This is how you qualify for the Nathan's Famous hot dog eating contest. The Texas qualifier is being held this month, so I'm assuming he's getting his mouth ready.
He's just shoving those wieners.
I would love to just turn on the TV, 4th of July, and there's Lee just shoveling. He's got...
And he doesn't even know there's a contest going on.
Say, what are all these people doing here? Well, I'm an international superstar, don't you know? You know? He's like, oh yes, I am. Leave it to the Brits to show you how to eat sausage. Bring me your finest Nathan's Famous. Don't know why he's talking like that. Must be the temperature. Must be the heat. Has to be. But the competitive eating is no joke, man. You got to get in there and
be beaten by an Asian.
Yes. A skinny Asian, by the way.
Very skinny, very healthy.
Very honorable. Very honorable.
Speaking of Asians.
Is there an Asians? Where's the Asians?
Hello.
Oh,
hey,
my.
Man.
Sorry I'm late.
Do you know what time it is, young man? Seriously, I don't know where the clock is around here.
It's time for my bed, actually. I'm going to go to bed.
Time for bed? How dare you?
Yeah.
The good news is it's 15 minutes before you can use your full vocabulary.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I got a question for you. I want to know if this is a good idea. I bought an iPad Air 2. Already Brian is stiff. I'd assume it's out in the heat somewhere. It was like on sale. It was an old model. I think this is one of the last ones that they use. I don't like it. Screen's too dim.
You don't like the iPad?
I don't like the iPad Air 2. The screen is too dim for me. Now, keep in mind, I've been a Samsung man forever, so I'm used to seeing OLED screens, not whatever marketing speak Apple is putting on their screens nowadays. I don't know what it is, but it did say it was a Retina screen. So you have that. I paid, what, $180 for it. 16 gig iPad Air 2. Then I get on Apple's website and says, oh, we'll recycle this. We'll even give you some money for it. So I put it in there. It's like, ooh, $165. And I can use that towards, profit. Yeah, and I can use that towards the purchase of that new $329 iPad. So really, I come out of this with a wash of $20. Is this a good deal? Is the newest iPad brighter than the Air 2?
You know what? I've never actually used an iPad. Yeah, it's a surprise, I know, but I've only ever used an iPhone or an iPod Touch and a Mac. iPads just never come across me.
Really?
He is in Australia, though, so they may not have made it there yet.
Oh, they have.
No, they're around. They're around. I just never got one or used one.
I mean, he's got to be trained on them, right? I mean, aren't you taking inquiries and calls about people doing things with their new iPad?
Oh, yeah, but that's iOS, and iOS is the same across all devices. Like, the screen brightness is like a hardware thing, which I'm really not familiar with. Like, you know, the only thing, the big difference between the iPad and the iPhone, I know, is that you can't replace just the screen of the iPad. Because the screen of the iPad is like built into the unit, whereas the iPhone's a bit more modular. It's very strange, I know. Wait,
the screen is actually fused to the unit and you can't take it out?
That's right. If you break the screen of your iPad, you're looking at a much higher charge than if you break the screen of your iPhone.
See, now how all this came about is I broke my old Samsung tablet. It's an old tablet. And they wanted to charge me $400 to get it fixed. No, thank you. And that's just Samsung. I can only imagine how much it would be if I were to go to a Genius Bar and do it there with an Apple thing.
It's about
It's about
like
similar.
If you wreck a car, then a handful of parts can total the vehicle.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you've got 3/4 of a functioning vehicle, but it's a complete wreck.
It's that crucial quarter of the vehicle that has to work. Can't do it. I thought that because my mom was in an accident and I thought they were going to total the car, but turns out ain't a scratch on it. Not a scratch at all. From what I had heard of the accident, she got T-boned. Guy coming out of the intersection, wasn't paying attention, bam, crunches it. She rolls off into, not into a ditch, but like onto the shoulder of the road. Airbags deployed, And that's all that had to be replaced. That's impressive.
That is pretty good.
I'm glad she's okay.
And she is fine.
Exactly.
She's still driving. She's still getting after it. But I don't think we've slagged Lee off enough this episode.
Not nearly enough for my
I don't think you ever could, really.
So we're going to slag off his entire country.
Very nice.
Ah, yes. We are nothing if not efficient around here when the Americans are in charge. Here is the headline. London Mayor Sadiq Khan plans transit for London junk food advert ban. Because when you think of great food, you immediately think of London. So here is one of those talkie picture things. There's Sadiq Khan riding the bus for a apparent photo op. All adverts for unhealthy food and drink will be banned on the tube, overground, and buses. Because if you don't see it, you obviously won't do it. Look at Jamie Oliver. He's impressed. City Hall says London has one of the highest child obesity rates in Europe. Well, that's not true. I thought we were number one. So I guess we are rubbing off on London.
Not about banning. I mean, it's a free market, but just warnings in terms of, the risks of eating junk food.
The thing is that people are moving fast so quickly that maybe these adverts don't always register. I think bans don't work, and no, I don't think it's a good idea.
I actually don't think it's appropriate to be advertising junk food. Let's make people more aware. Let's get people cooking. Let's get back to fresh food.
These are the people who brought you the Great British Baking Show, by the way, and are now saying that junk food is bad. These are the people who regularly dine in convenience stores.
Damn, you stupid.
This cannot stand.
I don't think we should be taking their advice on food.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we created Doctor Who, so we know how to cook a steak. No, you don't. You don't know how to do it properly, and you're just filling yourself up with preservatives. Now you're trying to catch up to the rest of us.
When I think of Lee's two favorite dishes, one of them's from India and the other one's from Italy.
Yeah.
Isn't his second favorite dish just beer?
No, that goes with all the dishes. That's in the morning,
I'm sure.
evening, all of it.
In 7 minutes, I will be able to tell you what Lee's favorite dish is.
I'm sure that he said at one point that he just had beer for a meal at some point. It sounds like something he'd say, even if he hasn't said it.
Well, if it was apple cider, certainly he probably would have.
Oh, that's right. Didn't he buy the whole stock since they got taken over by someone else?
Well, once he learned that the Americans had bought it out from under him, he started buying the bottles like they wanted them back.
I'm sure that reserve.
I'm sure he's sitting on quite the stockpile of apple cider in an underground bunker somewhere, just off the high street, in a dimly lit Quonset hut somewhere. Right in the countryside. Maybe.
Very high security.
Oh, yes. You have to walk around and...
I suspect he drank them all by now.
Oh, no. You gotta parse these out like you're on safari or something. Like you're stranded. Survival food mode is in effect. You know how you buy these... what is it that's big now? The survival food packs that will feed you for 72 hours, I guarantee you he's got a 72-hour stockpile of apple cider.
Yeah, it must be it.
It has to be.
I just think that Lee would be more inclined to do panic drinking, and therefore, though he had intentions of saving the cider, I fear it may not last as long as he feels it should.
Well, you've heard of panic chocolate, right? People keep like a thing of chocolate in a desk drawer or something like that for when you get really stressed out. I'm sure. I'm telling you. In the studio in the Ivory Tower, there's a bottle of apple cider that we know of.
I feel like even if he was panic drinking it, he would have got enough to tide him through the panic drinking and still have a fair bit.
Well, yeah, but you don't know how long
the panic gets over at some point.
Well, yeah.
But you're gauging that upon how much you would drink, Ben. This is Lee.
Surely the man has a limit somewhere.
We're still looking. We're still looking.
We will find it. It's there. I guarantee you.
Just keep pouring it down his throat.
Yeah. It just, at this point, it's like
until he goes to sleep on the driveway.
Like hot dogs we're talking about now.
Yeah. It's like one of those sea otters, you just take the and doesn't even use his hands, just mouth on bottle, turns it up. There you go. It's like you have hands. You can use your hands. No, just get it quicker into me. I'm not saying there's security cameras anywhere. I'm just saying, that's just
I think that accurately describes it.
Like I said, you might want to deactivate his Cam 4 account.
Has he still got that open? Wow. I would have thought people have lost interest by now.
What can I say? What captivates yet sickens at the same time. Trainwreck TV, they call it. And oh, look at this guy. He's got a lot of apple. By the way, have either of you gotten into the mukbanging trend?
What was that? Say again, sorry?
Mukbang. I'm probably butchering the term. Mukbang.
I've never.
It's a
never
whole
heard
section
of
on Twitch. They call it social eating.
I've heard of that, but no, I've never streamed on it myself, and I never watch anyone there.
It's an entire
I normally stream in the.
It's an entire directory on Twitch. Look at this guy. That guy's getting it done. His social eating show. He's live now. He's got one viewer. Can we see what's happening? Let's see.
Oh, heck yeah.
Let's see if I put him up here real quick. Make sure it's not muted. It's muted.
I'm really always streaming in the Vermintide category.
Oh, yeah?
These days, anyway.
So for the audio listeners, what you're listening to is a man munching on a sandwich. Oh, he's maybe either using stale bread or put some chips in it or something. This is the only thing on Twitch, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had enough of that.
Yeah, this does not sound good at all.
That does not sound good at all. I've turned off the sound, but you can still see the video. This guy.
So I just had a quick look at the social eating.
Oh.
I had a quick look at the social eating section, and some guys are playing a rerun of his social eating. Who would ever watch a rerun of social eating? Few enough people watch reruns of regular streams, let alone social eating.
2 words: Food Network.
Oh yeah.
They said it wouldn't work. Now we got Food Network cooking channel, Genius Kitchen, Taste Made on YouTube. It's all over the place.
Click and watch me smell things.
Yes.
Tori's new ASMR channel.
Don't think it wouldn't work. Come on, man.
Actually, I might listen to that.
But of course, yes, you would. And you'd love it. You'd be in the chat room getting banned and everything.
I would get banned immediately.
Kappa emotes all over the place. The random wiener, the random eggplant, the random.
I have my own emote on Twitch now.
You do?
Yeah. It's the Fargot AA.
What's that supposed to be?
I'll post it in the general channel of our Discord.
Ah. If you leave us, have a big weekend. If you're not, we got Extra Dirty here in a few.
On air, online, on demand, on the move.
DirtyBoxers.net.
That never fires off when it's supposed to. That's weird. The Dirty Bugs. Get out of here. All right. Let's take a break and do something. Tori, how about something that won't get Lee fired?
I don't know that if I have anything that will get you fired. Yeah, I don't.
Nice talking to you.
And I may have to abandon you as well, as I need to get some sleep. Work early in the morning tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good popping in. Do appreciate it.
Yeah, cheers, man.
No worries. Yeah, it was good to talk to you guys again. Yeah, I'll we'll speak soon, hopefully.
Bye, bye.
When Lee pulls his finger out, yeah.
Indeed.
We're still waiting.
Still waiting, yeah.
Not done yet. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
That's America, you dumb bastards.
I rub my own, but I'm kind of a freak that way.
Putin!
And if you don't believe me, then yo, jingle this.
Damn, you stupid.
Homogenized, generic, mundane, corporate radio.
Oh, hell no.
The Fun Zone Radio Show.
All right. Take that away, and we are ready to go. Hang on. The Dirty Boxers show has ended. Warning. The following program is not safe for work. I repeat, the following program is not safe for work. The subject matter discussed will be of a frank and very frank nature. You will be offended. You will be intrigued. And you may be turned on a little bit. The participants are real. Their language is real. Their anger is real. Things are about to get extra dirty. Beep and beep. I can never get that right. Anyway, hi y'all are. Big Boys J here. And to my right is Mr. Mando Torre.
Hello, everybody.
There has been discussion afoot over your sexiness, Torre. Yet again. You just have to dial it down a bit. You need a governor or something.
Well, see, I never knew that the discussion had stopped.
Well, there it is. Live and learn.
I had to find out this way, Jay. Thanks.
Well, you know, it's best you find out among friends instead of the mean streets. Right?
Ever so true. Ever so true.
Yeah. You're welcome. Anyway, Waffle House. Where are you on Waffle House?
Well, I know that Randy Macho Man Savage got in a fight at a Waffle House in Nashville and was bit on his rump by a police dog. Allegedly. You can hear all about that on a couple of wrestling podcasts I've been listening to. They're like, come on, Randy. Come on, Randy. He's like, no, man. He's getting away. It wasn't me. It was him. Come on, Randy. Apparently, Randy Poffo, a.k.a. Savage, was that guy 24/7.
Wow.
That includes when he goes into a Waffle House late at night with another wrestler. And apparently he was sitting there, the only person in the place, waiting for, someone to take his order. and an employee of the place came in and said, "Hey guys, guess what? Me and so are getting married."
Oh.
And so everyone starts kind of celebrating with the guy, including the waitress that left Randy Savage to go celebrate. Ooh. And Randy's one, she without taking his food order.
Uh-oh.
And Randy, rather courteously exclaims out loud, "Oh, who gives a fuck?"
Classic Savage.
And the guy who's getting married says, "Well, you better start giving a fuck." And he's like, "Well, I ain't going to. What are you going to do about it?" And this guy gets into a fight with Randy Savage in a Waffle Hut over getting married. So, yeah, look into that story. That's where I'm at on Waffle Huts. I like them. I prefer scattered and smothered and over easy.
Now, since you mentioned the Nashville Waffle House, my fair city, Waffle House has been in the news lately. I'd imagine this would come up if it's not already proliferating on the internet, as it were. This was a reprint from an original post in 2009, but it's been reprinted. We take you to Craigslist, and I want you to fulfill my Waffle House fantasy. Let's read this. This Sunday evening at 10 p.m., I'll be sitting at the counter of Waffle House on Tunnel Road. I'll be wearing clothing, but underneath I'll be naked. You'll know it's me because I'll be eating Bert's Best bowl of chili. Please note that Bert's Best is a large bowl of chili, smothered, covered, chunked, and peppered. This clarification is important just in case there's someone else at the counter eating a bowl of Bert's chili, which is just chili and not as good as Bert's Best. Glad we needed to know that. After you identify me by my chili and perhaps by my concealed nakedness, you'll take the stool beside me. At first, I won't be sure it's you, and the anticipation will be a real thrill for me. When a waitress greets you, it'll be a female because male Waffle House servers are rare. Anyway, you won't need to review a menu because I'm about to tell you what to order. Tell the waitress you'll have hash browns covered, diced, peppered, and topped. Curiously enough, topped means topped with Bert's chili. This guy's gone on way too long in his fantasy. He's Stephen Kinging this whole thing.
I'm just glad he didn't want it bottomed.
Ugh. The other code words stand for melted cheese, blah, 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 blah. Captures the code word I want for grilled button mushrooms. Either way, I'll still know it's you. Yet just to be sure, in addition to the hash browns, order a city ham biscuit from the dollar menu. Of course, it's possible that you may not like city ham. What if he's trying to attract a vegan? He's setting himself up for failure here.
Well, we're going to assume that that's neither going to be kosher nor halal either.
Nope. Says after you order and only after the waitress has walked away, I'll ask you if you'd like a spoonful of my Bert's Best chili. Now, she's already got her own chili. Why is she eating yours? Don't respond verbally. Just look me in the eyes, squint slightly in a seductive manner, and then open your mouth. Stick out your tongue and get ready for a spoonful of Bert's Best. Taste the chili, the sauteed onions, melted cheese, grilled hickory smoked ham, and spicy jalapeno peppers. Clearly, this is one of their marketing people.
You know, at first I thought this guy was horny. Now I just think he's hungry.
He's combining two of the things you shouldn't. Food and sex.
Yeah, no
Either
biting.
way, somebody's going to get sticky. You don't need that.
We don't need more bite marks.
No, sir. It doesn't matter if you like the spicy peppers or not. You're going to eat them and they're going to be hot. Hot. So hot your salivation may carry a little piece of grilled hickory smoked ham from the corner of your mouth down the precipice of your chin. Don't wipe it off. Let it drip. This guy has never written erotica in his life. Need to get him in touch with Fanakari. She knows how to do it. When
I think he wrote this with one hand.
He wrote it with one bowl. What was in that bowl, we still don't know. When my body stops...
One girl, one bowl.
Yeah. He finishes up here. When my body stops convulsing and my emotions return from sheer ecstasy, again, from just eating, I'll put a $20 bill on the counter. Then I'll get up slowly and walk out the door, never to see you again. If this sounds like the kind of thing you're looking for, email me to set up a time. I said I'd be there tonight at 10, but if more than one woman showed up, it would cause confusion. Also, I'd like to make sure you're not a weirdo before we meet. What? Look, man, you can't just attract any and all randos going into the Waffle House. Pretty sure Lee's doing this right now. He just changed the name to the Waffle House so that we would understand it. I don't think there's any Waffle Houses overseas, is it?
You know, it seems like we had to have the International House of Pancakes over here. Perhaps they have an International House of Waffles over there.
Yeah, see, the only waffle... Oh, yeah, that's not the right one. There's a Waffle House London, UK, but this doesn't look anything like the Waffle House we know and love. On the menu, waffles and waffles. This looks like a blatant ripoff. Somebody needs to know about this. Not only does their website not load, that logo is horrendous. And it's a blatant ripoff of the U.S. Waffle House. I don't know how we got it.
Somebody's cousin should lose their job as a graphic designer for that catastrophe.
Yeah. Now, during the break, I got an email. And I want to read this to you. It says, "How do you do? I guess that my letter is unexpectedly expected for you. I have bad news. Last time when you visit Erotical, EROTICAL, internet resource, you notebook caught computer virus. The software forced front-facing camera of yours notebook, and as a result, I own black PR package against you. On the videotape, you arouse sexually. Soon the computer virus could get permission to your contacts. And it can distribute video to your lovely and dear. In a case, if you want to check it, then you must give me $388 in Bitcoin digital money. Hurry up! I can wait just 25 hours. I am so sorry for mistakes. English is not my native language. I have hobbled this electronic address. This is not my email. Do not answer this message."
Well, I mean, the biggest mistake they made was assuming that I couldn't promote my home videos a lot cheaper elsewhere.
True. Of course.
$300? I can just share it on Facebook once and no one can erase those memories.
Now, I don't know why I got this message. I don't own a laptop. I don't visit those sites on my phone. Screen's too small. I don't have anything with a camera permanently attached to it. I figured it was just spam, and it turns out I was right. There is another. This is an actual news story where a man gets an email about compromising video after seeing a porn site.
An email that really may scare anyone handing over some big bucks. It's like that blackmail infidelity scam that we told you about last year. Well, this time the criminals are saying that they have this evidence of you that you probably don't want your friends and family to see. So let's take a look at this suspicious email. The subject line contains the victim's name and then the words compromising video. Well, the sender tells the receiver they have some unpleasant news, that a computer virus captured a revealing video of the victim through their webcam while they allegedly visited this dirty website. Well, the blackmailer then demands a payment of more than $360 to be sent through the anonymous online currency Bitcoin, and that's in exchange for keeping this video under wraps. Well, the scammer admits their English is not very good, and the BBB says that's a good sign that this is all a fake.
Bad grammar, bad spelling, bad punctuality, the syntax is off. All of these are buzzwords really for, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm trying to take your money and shake you down.
Or a millennial.
These are all dead giveaways.
It's all dead giveaways, he says, and the BBB warning, do not send any money through Bitcoin or through the mail, through online sources. Alert the authorities. The local police departments here in Chesterfield, Henrico, and Richmond, they tell me they receive these kinds of scams all the time, but do not fall for them. And what's scary, guys, is that experts say that these scammers are out there in the first place because some people do fall for this, that they do send the money, and so just don't fall for the scam. Use some common sense.
Now, why was the guy standing outside in a field to deliver this vital, important information for your digital life? Could this not have been delivered in a stand-up right next to the anchor desk, perhaps in front of a big screen? Why did he need to be out there? Are you feverishly clearing your cache right now, Tori?
Yeah, I was. There was something said during that report that just triggered a memory. I'm trying to cue that memory up.
Yeah, it. I immediately thought it was spam.
My neighbor got big testicles because we see this dude every day.
Yes. That is exactly
Dead
right.
giveaway.
Dead giveaway. Yes, sir. So we go from the suspected sexual activities online to actual sexual activities in real life. Man has sex with car. It gets me every time. So here we are. This is in the United States, so Lee is off the hook. Newton police took a 24-year-old man to the emergency room after he was found attempting to have sex with a car. The lieutenant says, we were called to the 1200 block of East Broadway to a report of a naked male underneath a car. He was attempting to stick his penis into the tailpipe of the vehicle. The suspect did not respond to commands, and officers had to use a taser. It's always sad when you have to get the taser out.
I mean, what hurts more, the taser or being tased before insertion?
Well, if you look logistically, you're out there naked. Obviously, you're on the ground. So no matter if critter or glass or pebbles or rocks are on the ground and theoretically on you. So now you got to deal with all that.
Think of the angle you have to achieve. I mean, you probably have to stretch and do a little calisthenics before you even get into something. I'm not
saying you'd have to mix in a yoga class or 12, but you probably have to.
If you had a creeper, that might help.
True. So he was taken to the emergency room as the result of his odd behavior due to a 0.35 blood alcohol level and possible drug use. Officers also observed to be what appeared to be a head injury previous to interaction with officers. Now, did the officers do this? Or maybe it was he had some trauma after hitting his head on the ground and trying to insert into the car. Now, if you look at the tailpipe of a car, the tailpipe is not jutting out like on the old jobs, the old cars, like your dad and them used to drive. I didn't think that tailpipes were even on cars anymore.
Well, when I think of tailpipe, I'm thinking like of a female.
Yeah.
Like a Kardashian.
Yeah.
They have bigger tailpipes than used to. Maybe that's what happens. We went from big tailpipes on cars to big tailpipes on females.
Well, you got to keep Kanye around somehow.
You're keeping Tesla at bay too.
True. Yeah, you can't do this with a Tesla. There's nothing to stick it in. No tailpipe, no muffler, no nothing. You'd have to do it inside the car.
Is that why they're so expensive?
That's one of the reasons why they're so expensive. There's absolutely no reason why a touchscreen that large isn't going to be used for something nefarious. I'm sorry. It has to be tested. Somebody's done something.
If you pay for the thing, it's yours. You do what you want inside of it.
Well,
it's like a maritime admiralty law.
Could you declare international waters inside of your own car?
I generally do.
Ooh.
That's why I wear the hat.
Ah. You do have fine taste in hats, by the way.
I thank you for noticing.
Now, there's also, while we're on the topic of sex inside of Extra Dirty, we have tips and tricks. And this is this is from the Scottish Sun. So Lee's already interested. Women are more likely to have an orgasm if they blow their nose before sex. Just 1 in 7 women tended to climax during this, compared to 6 out of 7 with the most powerful noses. So, those with the sharpest sense of smell were up to 6 times more likely to complete the job. Researchers say they are more sensitive to body odors and hormones which trigger the effect. Psychotherapist Philip Hudson says the findings suggest having a head cold and blocked nose may make arousal more difficult. Clearing it can be a useful strategy. Let's just hold on this picture. Isn't that nice? You know, the body's connected. There's all sorts of things that we still don't know about the human body. This may be just one more of those things. The article says being bunged up can hinder a woman's chances of an orgasm. So experts recommend blowing the nose beforehand. So it's not you, it's your nose.
And when they say blowing the nose, I feel that they should say that you don't technically blow the nose. Well, I mean, you don't theoretically blow the nose. What am I saying, Jay?
No, I think you have to clear out the pipe so you can get the full effect.
There's going to be a quick a quick expulsion of sticky, slimy liquid. No, that's not right. Well, it is right, but
let's just say you're all stove up. You got a blockage somewhere. You got to get rid of that blockage so you can have full flowing interest.
You need to release the blockage.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. You have an effective release, and you can get it done.
So probably having a Kleenex handy would be a plus.
Having several Kleenexes handy is a plus.
Well, I can see that most of our listeners are well covered in that area.
Yes. Yes, they are. Now, people will have been asking, where is Lee? Clearly, he's gone to Vegas, home of the world's largest orgy.
Legalized prostitution. Yeah, that.
Yes. From the Las Vegas Weekly, which could be part journalism hack, part native ad, is talking about Sin City 8. It's in its 8th year. Will take over the Embassy Suites on Swenson Street, May 30th to June the 3rd. It's a 5-day festival devoted to carnal pleasure and topless camaraderie. I thought that was all of Vegas. That and buffets, which again, you're combining two things that really ought not to be combined. The festivities include workshops like sensual bondage basics, laughter belongs in the dungeon, and intro to lifestyle/consent 101. We got a pool party, we got the weekend kickoff party, and finally they will attempt to break the record for the world's largest reported orgy. Not talking about legendary records, the reported record. Because you get people talking in a bar or 12, they'll talk about the time they had this one time during that layover in Sandusky, Ohio, where we never thought that would happen, blah, 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 blah.
I don't think we should use Sandusky as name.
Oh, my. Yes. Did not think of that.
Could be a bad correlation when discussing an orgy. Ooh. This didn't happen in a gym, did it?
No. Now, your swag bag will have all manner of condoms, lubricants, hand sanitizers, towels, and other compliments. With event organizers promising a clean space with clearly marked and separate receptacles for waste and linen disposal.
I prefer all my receptacles clearly marked.
Indeed. Speaking of poorly marked receptacles, she says, I am not going to win Mom of the Year. A mortified mother accidentally cooks pasta shaped like a penis.
Well, there I mean, who gives up that award anyhow?
I don't know.
And why do we trust them so much to know about moms?
Well,
unless they're winning, like if they win at snaps. I guess if you win a game of snaps, then you may know more about moms.
I would say so. This is a Dunstable woman who was left red-faced after unwittingly cooking penis-shaped pasta for her 2 young daughters. It wasn't until Rebecca, who also has a 7-month baby girl, had realized the rude nature of her meal. Do we have a picture of them? She says here she tweeted about it, naturally. She says she wandered down to the market and she wanted some smiley face pasta, so she bought it, cooked it, looked at the bag, and it's really, really odd. Oh, there it is. That is not a smiley face. Look at there.
Well, I don't know. There might be one attached to it.
No. That is not what happened to Chef Boyardee.
Definitely gonna need a cream sauce to cover that.
Hey, look at the cat. She's just happy. It's like, oh, I got my smiley face pasta. Oh, boy.
You'd expect meatballs.
She says, nope. Thought it looked a bit odd. Re-looked at the bag, and it's bloody penis pasta. How could I even realize while cooking it? What's on the package? What's on the package of the pasta? Do we not know? What? I guess the next question is, where is she shopping that this is out in the open? Granted,
Yeah, where'd she go to Party Mart?
Granted, it is the UK, so that's how they do things at Tesco's now. You could buy those penis-shaped pastas, and if you want to get a good look at it, there it is, right next to a child eating the pasta of the same shape. This just ought not to be. This is disturbing in more ways than one.
I felt they went too far with the slow motion zoomed in video.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna need a box
Set
of
the
that.
music. No, thank you.
I'm gonna need a box of that for science. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm eating rice from now on. Thanks.
You got it. I mean, you think the cavatappi pasta was a bit suggestive, but I mean, think about it. Granted, there's probably a market for it. All the bridesmaids and bridal parties will have the bachelorette parties will no doubt have one of these things. But think back. Someone has to make a die cast of that so that it can be fitted to an extruder and the pasta can shoot out of it. There's your day.
Which brings us back to where Lee's at.
Yes. We still don't know.
Making pasta.
Yes.
I suspect.
Or he could be traveling. And this may be a bit of a violation. He might be in Paris, where they've just opened their doors to nudists. There's your shot of that. There you go. Look at that art. Woo!
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So, here we go. The Palais du Tokyo in Paris says, you know what? This art would be better if you weren't wearing pants. The art gallery allowed guests to strip naked for a clothing-free event on the 5th of May. Look at this guy. He's just staring at the lighthouse. He really, really likes castles. Not that we could tell or anything like that. You check your clothing into the cloakroom. You wander the halls of the museum to admire the sculptures and the paintings. This is the first time a Paris museum has welcomed nudists and follows last summer's successful establishment of a nude zone in the city's Bois de Vincennes Park.
And no touching the displays, please.
You cannot touch the displays. The rules are there for a reason. There are an estimated 2.6 million naturists in France, and Paris has an active nudist association. I tell you what, I guarantee you these are models. Because when you say nudists, there's usually the people that need all the clothing on. They'd say, no, man, I got to be free. Let me out. Let me run.
It's usually people that look like they're wearing clothing when they aren't.
Exactly. And just because the capitalist in me loves this, anyone interested in experiencing a slice of the French nudist life can also check out the clothing optional vacation rentals on Naturist B&B. Now, there's your logo right there. Naturist B&B, friendly hosts, clothing optional around the world. See, that's tasteful. This is probably a Squarespace site because it looks like the Squarespace modus operandi there.
They should have named it TNA B&B.
Possible. Now you can. Oh, that's a nice one. Here's a breezy, quiet, and private naturist home in Williamstad, Grootburg. €58 a night. Ooh. They have the ensuite double bedroom, single bed for children in the beautiful island of Curacao. A little cozy, but you won't be in the room long. Where are the pictures? There were pictures. What happened to the pictures? Come here. There we go. See the photos. That's a nice pool, and that is a nice view of trees and sky. All that. We move to the, oh, wow, that is nice. So the only stipulation is you have to be nude? Can't you just rent this place by itself? Now, I know they don't have all the naturists cordoned off in a section of France, right? I didn't think they'd do that. And I would definitely cover up those chairs, especially if this is a naturist area. Nice little kitchen, seating area. That is the wrong fabric that needs to be on that couch. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
No. I think I'll just stand.
They ain't got enough Febreze in here for this. The dog seems nonplussed. It's like this is every Tuesday. So there you are. A naturist B&B. I did not know that exists until today. I'm intrigued, yet dismayed at the same time at their fabric choices. The fact that they don't have everything kind of locked down when it comes to people being nude and sitting on your furniture. You'd have to burn that. You'd have to refurnish the whole place after every sitting.
How is footwear not required? I mean, athlete's foot has to be a concern.
Yes. I don't even, use the shower at the gym because I don't want to. And my gym is weird because they have taken the step, and I don't know why they done this. The entire locker room is carpeted. Where you go, where the lockers are, obviously not in the showers or the toilets or anything like that, but where the lockers are, completely carpeted. You know that ain't been cleaned in ever. Who knows what manner of super fungus is sitting on there?
What manner of liquids have dripped off onto that only to dry and never be cleaned out?
And you're getting out of the pool.
And your wet foot comes in contact and reconstitutes the liquid, and now it's on your foot.
I just grossed myself out. Oh, we can't do that. No. Can't deal with it. Can't deal with it. So, I had mentioned Fortnite earlier.
I'll be the one to say it, Jay. It isn't art to me. It's not art.
No. Sometimes the body needs a good bit of covering, a good coat of paint in the form of clothes. No, the body is a beautiful thing. No, it ain't. The body is weird and poorly thought out.
It's the work in progress.
It's we think we got all the things. We're in a beta test mode.
This.
I think we might be in alpha mode, if you ask me. So,
or a la mode.
A la mode.
Much like a cobbler or a pie.
And we're back to the ice cream. Now, France will tear you down on some pastries. They do good work there. So, what if you're tempted by the pastries and being nude at the same time? You can't do that. I don't think so. It's just weird. It's weird and I don't like it.
It's a hygiene nightmare.
Yeah. So.
And I do not consider it advancement. If anything, we need pastries which require less finger licking, yet retain all their tastiness. And perhaps clothing which makes you feel like you're nude even if you aren't. Maybe that's the solution.
How about body painting? That is big in Vegas nowadays. And they do really detailed work. Really nice. Actually know someone who that is their job. They paint people for a living.
Could they draw a bigger penis on my penis?
I don't know. But they do have a stringent set of rules, the least of which is to thoroughly shower before going to have this done. Doesn't feel like it needs to be said, but we had to say it. Your thoughts, Tori?
I don't think you can ever encourage our listeners to shower enough.
Showering is good. We've got water. Use it. That's all you got to do. Now we were talking about.
I feel like we've performed some sort of community service by mentioning that here. Like the greater good has been affected. But seriously, folks, take showers.
Take a shower. All you got to do. It's easy. Battery low. All right.
It's yours. You can wash it as fast and as often as you want.
Obviously, if you're going to be on vacation, you're going to have your phone out. And especially if you're a brand new to the naturist industry, you're really going to have your phone out. So have you ever heard of shoulder surfing or visual hacking? It is the act of peeking over someone's shoulder at their phone.
I just thought that was being nosy is what I've always called that.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So
that's nothing new. That's branding something old with a new twist. I think it's just you're not observing someone's privacy.
So this is a think piece written by who wrote this? Oh, there it is. Heather Schwedel in Slate magazine, slate.com. Basically, she was out and about in the city. She pulled out her own phone to text a coworker when she noticed another woman near her scrolling through the Astro Poet's Twitter feed. She figures if she can stare at her hard enough, what articles or ebooks commuters are reading. Now, if the screen's large enough, you can't help it. And some of y'all out there have the brightness all the way up. So as soon as you turn it on and you start running through your email, you're blinding the next two people behind you. It has become a bit of a security issue. A Wall Street Journal article on Wednesday was advising readers to watch out for snoopers over their shoulders. It's the old ATM PIN code thing. Obviously, the way the ATM is situated, if it's like at table level, you could tap your thing in, but usually it's up against the wall in plain view of everybody behind you. Now, the Journal piece makes spying on people's screens, she calls it rude, a privacy violation. We all know what it's like to get engrossed in what someone else is doing in public. That's what Trainwreck TV is all about. Now, I've been on buses and I've seen people have their phones out, but the most irritating thing to me, what is not mentioned in this article, is the people who forgot their headphones and decided, I got to have some Tribe Called Quest on this bus ride, and so I'm going to just stick it up in my ear and play it out for the next two people that are here. I'm sure they'll enjoy it too. You're wrong. Wrong for that. And I thought we had this licked. I mean, isn't there a privacy glass or privacy film that you can put on your laptop screens? So if you're not facing it fully directly, you can't see what's going on? It's in libraries now. Because apparently, and this was a big to-do in my fair city, the homeless have to have their porn. And you can do so in the library. My tax dollars at work. When's the last time you were in the library, Tori?
I've been advised by my lawyer to not answer any questions at this time.
But yeah, I remember when they were just getting the film to put on there, there was some privacy concerns on the computer users, homeless or not, with the fact that our main library is just down the corner from one of the big high schools. Not that high schoolers are going to the library nowadays. And not that they can't see whatever they want to see on the phone, but you might have one or two stragglers out there that maybe doesn't have a phone with an unlimited plan or an iPad or a tablet, what have you. But they still have to, see those pictures on Instagram or Facebook. And so what do? You go to the library and you want to browse privately on a public machine. Granted, your tax dollars paid for it, but yeah, you want to do your private stuff on a public machine, so you need the screen so that the person walking up behind you, and these machines are out in the open, by the way. They're not cordoned off in a cube somewhere. They are out in the open, and I have walked past them, and those screens do work. I don't know what's going on until you are right directly in front of it. So
maybe you remember the old-fashioned cameras where the where the photographer would have to get underneath the shroud behind the camera?
Yeah, I remember that.
Maybe we need those shrouds on the monitors that attaches to your head.
You know, there were some before they got the screens. There were some screens that had a big old visor on top of it. It was rudimentary protection. And it wasn't all that good because it just, in my mind, showcased it because it dimmed the area around the screen. So if you're just, just looking around, ooh, what's that? I need to see that. It framed it. Yeah, it framed it. Brought your focus right on in so you could see it. And these were the big monitors too. The tube monitors, the ones that are heavy. It was horrible. Yeah. You got to be careful with that stuff.
I've got an old tube monitor, and that thing is so heavy, I'm looking for a friend to help me get it out of the house.
Tell me about it. I know a guy that still had one of those Sony Trinitron 35 inch. Begging. You can't move this thing without a truss and the power of attorney or something or other. It's that huge. Puts it on Craigslist, 12 offers. It's like, how are you going to get that out of your house?
Yeah, you have to work that into the price, where you have to pick it up yourself.
Oh, no, it's free. It's free.
Oh, just come get this out of here.
Yeah, they want it done, they want it out. It's like, oh, can you do something with this, please? And I don't blame them.
You can find a lot of good exercise equipment that way, too.
Yeah. Now that I've talked about the gym and it's weirded me out, I may go looking on Craigslist for one of those old treadmills. You know it's got to be in pristine condition because ain't nobody used them. Nobody.
Used twice.
Yeah.
Used to the side.
Test it to say, oh, yeah, I like this. I'm going to be on this every morning. Cut to 2 weeks later, all their dirty laundry sitting on top of it, waiting to be done. Well, look at that. We have managed to spend some great time together. Tori?